Today I will show you how you can create a complete e-commerce app in Flutter. In this tutorial you will learn several topics, that is how to create a different product categories, how to favorite our products to add it in our favorite screen. You will also learn how to delete the products from the favorite screen. In this tutorial we will also cover how to study our products by going to the details page where we can read the product description and also select our desired size of the product. You will also learn how to add our product to our cart and also how to manage the quantity of the product, keeping the total price in view.
Do you want to have your Flutter app, website or backend server completely developed in a high professional manner instead of developing it on your own? Then simply go to heyflutter.com/app and we will develop this app for you.
First of all, we will create a bottom navigation bar which will be used to navigate to different screens. Bottom navigation bar requires a current index, so we will create a current index and assign it. Now we need to add items inside our bottom navigation bar. Therefore, we will create 3 bottom navigation bar items with label, home, favorite and profile, and each with icon widget. Now we need to create 3 different pages. Therefore, we will create home screen, favorite screen and profile screen inside our pages folder in lib directory. Coming back to our main file, here we will create a list screens and add our screens inside. Now we will pass our list of screens with the current index that we have already created to the body of the scaffold. Here you can see that when I click on the bottom navigation bar items, it does not change this. To fix this, we will access the on-top property of the bottom navigation bar. We will pass the value of the selected item and inside we will assign it to the current index. After hard reloading, here you can see that when we click on the bottom navigation bar item, the selected screen changes relatively. We can specify the color of selected bottom navigation bar item. We can also give a color to unselected items. Our main screen is almost ready and now it's time to customize our screen. We will start with the home screen. Inside the build method, we will return a column widget. We will create a text widget with some custom text style. We will wrap our column widget with the padding to give it some space around. Now we will create a row widget and here we will create our product category. For that, we will create a build product category method in which will return a container of a custom height and width. We will pass a text widget as a child of the container widget. Now we will call our method inside our row widget. We also want to have multiple categories, therefore we will add a string name and index and then we will access the name inside the text widget. For the index number, we will check if the index number is equal to the is selected, then the color of the container will be red, otherwise it will be a light color. We will create is selected and assign it to 0 initially. Coming back to our row widget, now it's time to call build product category method and pass the name of the category along with the index number. We will create 2 more categories by calling the build product category method. We have our categories ready. Now it's time to add products to each category. For that, first of all, we will create a product file. Here we will create a class product and add all its attributes. We will also create a constructor to assign them all. Now we will create another file, a my product, in the model folder. Here we will create a class my product and inside we will define a list of all product of type product. Inside the all product list, we will call a product and pass relative data to its required parameters. We will also add a few more products with a different data. For the images path, inside our assets folder we have 2 folders for the sneakers pictures and jackets pictures. We will create another static list of sneakers and add products inside accordingly with the relative data. As we have 3 categories in our app, we will also create another list of jacket list of type product and inside we will call a product and pass relative data to its required parameters. Coming back to our home screen, here under the all product category we need to show our products. For that, we will create a method a build all product which will return a grid view builder. Inside the grid view builder, we will assign a sliver grid delegate with fixed axis count widget to the grid delegate with the axis count 2 and the child aspect ratio. We will set the scroll direction of the grid view to the vertical because we want our products to scroll vertically. For the item count, we will call my products class and access the length of the list all products. For the item builder, it will return a product card widget which we will create separately because we want it to be a reusable widget. Therefore, we will create another folder widgets in our lib directory and inside we will create a product card file. Here we will create a product card stateful widget which will return a container. We will be showing the product details in the product card. For that, we will create an instance of the product class and mark it required inside our constructor. Coming back to our home screen, here inside the item builder, we will access our products from all products like using index, and after that we will save it to all products. Now we can pass all products to the product card as a required parameter. Getting back to the product card widget, we will set the width of the container to the half of the device screen width. We will also give it a custom decoration. We will add a column widget as a child of the container widget. We will create a row widget with a favorite icon inside the row widget. We can move the favorite icon to the end by setting the main axis alignment to main axis alignment.in. We will add image.asset as a child of the size box widget. Now here we will access all our images. But before accessing images from the assets folder, don't forget to add your assets in the pubs.yml file. Here we will access our images from the product.image. We will set the fit property to the boxFit.cover to cover all the available space by the image. Now here you can see that we have all our product images. Under the size box widget, we will add another text widget to access the name of the product using the widget.product.name inside the text. We will give it a custom text style to make it look more good. Similarly, we will add another text widget to access the category of the product. Also, for the price of the product, we will create a text widget and we will use widget.product.price to access the price of the product. We will also give it a custom text style to make it look great. Now here you can see that we have our all products category ready. Now it's time to build a jackets category. For that, we will create a build jackets method which will return a grid view builder. We will add a sliver grid delegate with fixed cross axis count widget to the grid delegate with cross axis count 2 and the child aspect ratio. We will set the scrolling direction of the grid view to vertical because we want our products to scroll vertically. For the item count, we will call my products class and access the length of the list jackets. For the item builder, first we will access the products from the jackets list from my product class using the index, and after that we will save it to the jacket list. Now we can pass the jacket list into product card as a required parameter. Here you can see that when we click on the category button, our category does not change this. To fix this, we will wrap our container with gesture detector inside the build product category method. We will assign the value of the index to the S selected whenever we tap on the container. Now here you can see that we are able to change the category button, but still the products are not changing accordingly. Therefore, we will create an expanded widget and inside we will check the S selected variable. If it's equal to 0, then we will call the build all products method, and otherwise we will call the build jacket method. After hard reloading, here you can see that when we click on the category button, our products are changing accordingly. Till now we are done with the all products and jackets category. Now we will create another method, build sneakers, for the sneakers category, which will return a grid view builder, same as the other two methods. For the item count, we will call my product class and access the length of the list sneakers. For the item builder, first we will access the product from the sneaker list from my product class using the index, and after that we will save it to the sneaker list. Now we can pass the sneaker list to the product card as the required parameter. Coming back to the expanded widget, here we will recreate our logic as if is selected is 0, we will call build all product method. If the is selected is equal to 1, then we will call the build jackets method. Otherwise we will call the build sneaker method. After hard reloading, here you can see that when we click on the category buttons, our products are also changing accordingly for all the three categories. Now we want our products to be clickable and navigate to the details page. Therefore, we will create a details screen inside our pages folder. Here we will create a stateless widget which will return a scaffold with the app bar. First of all, we will take an instance of our product class. We will mark it required inside our constructor because we want to pass the data of the product which is clicked. Coming back to our home screen, here we will wrap the product card with a gesture detector inside the build all product method. When we tap on the product card, we will use navigator.push method to navigate to the details page. We will pass our all products list to the required parameter. After hard reloading, here you can see that when we click on the product card of all products category, we are navigating to the details page. We will do same for the jackets category. Inside the build jackets method, we will wrap the product card with the gesture detector, and inside we will use navigator.push to navigate to the details page. We will also pass our jackets list to the required parameter. Inside the build sneaker method, we will wrap the product card have the gesture detector, and inside we will use navigator.push to navigate to details page. We will pass our sneaker list to the required parameter. After hard reloading in the sneakers category, when we click on the product, it navigates us to details page. Now it's time to customize our details screen. First of all, we will pass a column widget to the body of the scaffold. Inside, we will create a container widget with a custom height and width. For the child, we will create image.assets widget and access our product image using product.image. We will set the main axis alignment to the center to make our image in the center of the row. We will also add a sized box of custom height to give some space to the picture at the top. Right after the row widget, we will create another container widget with custom height, width, and box decoration. We will add column widget as a child of the container widget. To access the name of the product, we will create a text widget with the text style inside the row widget. We will create another text widget inside the row widget, and this time we will access the price of the product. Under the row widget, we will create another text widget which we will use to access the description of the product using product.description. Now we want to add available sizes of the product in the details screen, and therefore we will create available size as a separate widget inside our widgets folder. Here we will create a stateful widget which will return a container with a custom height and width and box decoration. We want the container to have text showing the size of the product, therefore we will create a string and mark it required inside our constructor. Coming back to the details page, here we will call available size widget 4 times with the different sizes. Now we want available sizes container to be selectable. For that, we will go to available size widget, and here we will wrap the container with a gesture detector. We will create a boolean is selected. Inside the gesture detector, we will set the value of is selected to the opposite of is selected. We can also specify the color of the container using the is selected. Well, after hard reloading, here you can see that we can select our desired size of the product. Coming back to our details page, we will simply create 3 circular avatar widgets of custom radius and different background colors. Now we want to show the price of the product at the bottom of the screen. For that, we will create a bottom app bar, and inside we will add a container widget as a child of the bottom app bar with a custom height. We will pass row widget as a child of the container widget. Inside the row widget, we will create a text widget and access the price of the product. We will also create an elevated button icon which will be used to add our products to the cart screen later. After hard reloading, here you can see that when we click on the product, it navigates us to the details page, where we can read the product description and also select our desired size of the product. Now it's time to create a cart screen where we can add our products. Therefore, we will create a cart screen inside our pages folder. Here we will create a cart details, which is a stateful widget, and return a scaffold with the app bar. Coming back to our main file, here we will define an icon button inside our actions of the app bar, which will be used to navigate us to the cart details screen. Here you can see that when we click on the icon button, our cart details screen is open. Now we want to add our products to the favorite screen and cart details screens. For that, we will need to introduce another package by going to the pubspec.yaml file. Here we will add the dependency called provider with the latest version number. Don't forget to run flutter pubkit command to download the package. Coming back to our main file, we will import the package before using it. Now we will wrap our material app with multi-provider widget, and inside the providers we will define our favorite provider. Now we will create another file inside the provider folder, which is inside the lab directory. Here we will create a favorite provider class which extends with a change notifier. Inside we will create a private list favorite of type product, which we will later get to the favorite list. We will create a toggle favorite method. We will also add a product class instance as a parameter of the method. Here we will check if our private favorite list contains the product that we want to add to the list. We will simply remove the product, otherwise we will add the product to the favorite list. Lastly, we will also notify our listeners. We will also create a bool type isExist method, which will take a product instance as a parameter and check if the favorite list contains the product. If the favorite list contains the product, it will return true. We will also create a build context method for the favorite provider and set the listen flag to true. Now inside the product card, first of all we will initialize our favorite provider to the provider. After that, we will wrap the favorite icon with the gesture detector. When we tap on the icon, we will call a toggle favorite function from the provider class and pass the product to the required parameter. We can also change the icon. For that, we will call the isExist method using the provider, and then we will check if it's true, we will have the favorite filled icon. If it's false, we will have the outlined favorite icon. After hard reloading here, you can see that when we tap on the icon, it changes, but still it's not showing inside our favorite screen. Therefore, we will go to our favorite screen. First of all, we will initialize our favorite provider to the provider. Then we will save our provider list to the final list using provider. We will add a column widget to the body of the scaffold. Inside the column widget, we will add a row widget and then create a text widget with a custom text style. Right after the row widget, we will create an expanded widget, and inside we will pass a list view builder as a child of the expanded widget. For the item count, we will access the length of the final list. For the item builder, we will add a list style with some padding around. For the title, we will create a text widget and access the name of the product from the final list using index. For the subtitle, we will access the description of the product from the final list using index. For the leading, we will add a circular avatar, and inside we will access the product image from the final list using the index as a background image. In the trailing, we will pass a text widget and access the price of the product from the final list using index. Lastly, we can also give a color to our list style, and here you can see that when we click on the favorite button and then navigate to the favorite screen, here we have the products added in the favorite screen. If we unfavorite the icon, the product is then removed from the list and thus not showing in the favorite screen. We can also delete our favorites products from the favorite screen. For that, we need to introduce another package by going to the pub/spec.yaml file. Here we will add the dependency flutter slidable with the latest version number. Don't forget to run flutter pub-get command after adding the dependency to download the package. Now coming back to our favorite screen, we need to import the package to the dart file where it will be used. We will wrap our list style with a slidable widget. Inside we will call action pen widget. We can specify the motion of the slidable widget using the motion property. In the children of the action pen, we will add a slidable action with onPress function, delete icon, a label text, and with some background and foreground colors. Now here you can see that when we slide our list style, our action pen is appeared. Now we need to add the functionality of deleting the list style. For that, inside the onFirst function, we will call remove at method and pass the index of the current product to remove it from the final list. After hard reloading here, you can see that when we slide our product, we have an action pen appeared, and when we click on it, our product is deleted from our favorite screen. Now it's time to add our product to our cart screen. Therefore, we will create a new file cart provider inside our provider folder. Here we will create a cart provider which extends with the change notifier. Inside we will create a private list cart of type product, which we will later get to the cart list. Here we will create a toggle product method where we will add the product class instance as a parameter of the method. Here we will check if the private cart list contains the product that we want to add to the list. Then we will simply increment the quantity of that product. Otherwise, we will add the product to the cart list. Lastly, we will notify our listeners. Coming back to our main file, we will define the cart provider inside our multi-providers. Now going to the details screen, first of all, we will initialize our cart provider to the provider. Inside the elevated button, when we tap on the button, we will call a toggle product function from the provider class and pass product to the required parameter. We will also navigate to cart details page using navigator.push method. Now here you can see that when we click on the elevated button, it navigates us to the cart details page and our product is added in the cart details screen. We will create a build product quantity method which will require an icon and index number, inside which we will return a container with the icon as a child widget. We will wrap the container with a gesture detector, and when we tap on the container, we will check if the icon pressed is add icon. Then we will increment the quantity, otherwise we will decrement the quantity. We will create these two methods by going to the cart provider. Here we will create both methods, one for incrementing the product quantity and other for decrementing the product quantity. Now coming back to the cart details screen, we will call the build product quantity method passing the add icon with index from the list view builder. We will call build product quantity method again, but this time we will pass the remove icon with the index of the list view builder. After hard reloading here, you can see that when we tap on the add button, the quantity of the product increases, and when we tap on the remove button, the quantity of the product decreases. We can also delete the product from our cart. For that, we will wrap the list style with a slidable widget. Inside, we will call action pen widget. We can specify the motion of the slidable widget using the motion property. Inside the children of the action pen, we will add a slidable action with our first function. Now here you can see that when we slide our list style, our action pen is appeared. Now we want to add the functionality of deleting the product from the cart. For that, inside the onFirst function, we will call remove at method and pass the index of the product to remove it from the final list. After hard reloading here, you can see that when we slide our product, we have an action pen appeared, and when we click on it, our product is deleted from our cart details screen. Now we want to show the total price of the products added in the cart. For that, we will create a container with custom height and width. We will pass through widget as a child of the container widget, where we will create a text widget and called get total price method using provider to get total price of the products. To create the method, we will go to the cart provider. Here we will define the get total price method. First of all, we will define a double variable and assign it to 0 initially. Then we will access the price of the product and then multiply it with the quantity of the product. And lastly, we will save it in total and then return the total. Coming back to the cart details page, after hard reloading, here you can see that we have a total price of the product. If we increase the quantity of the product, the total price also increases relatively. When I add another product to the cart details, here you can see that the price of the both products are displayed correctly. If we delete the products, the total price is set to 0. Well, that's it. We have created a complete e-commerce app in Flutter.